No matter what age your child is, you want the best for their future. What do they want to do after graduation? What career path do they want to take? These questions can be overwhelming. That's why you should ask them this question. What's your E? Seminole County Public Schools ePathway program is designed for your student to choose their own path in life from as many options as we can offer. Whether they're looking to enlist, enroll, or be employed, we're excited to help you and your child make it happen. Want them to enroll in a college or university? We'll help you find the best school for them to continue their education. Learn about grants and programs to help your child obtain their degree at a pace and a cost that works for you both. Are they looking to go straight into employment? Discover a variety of trades and skills that will propel their future. They can learn aviation maintenance, automotive repair, culinary arts, and more to hone their talents in growing industries. Is your child interested in enlistment? We'll help them find the right path of service, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire response, or EMS. They can serve the community while learning skills that will last a lifetime. What's your E? Explore options with ePathways by visiting us online at the link below.
What inspired me to get into engineering was Lego. So I started as a kid, as most kids do, working with Legos and just kind of doing your own thing, building the Lego sets. And I would often take apart my Lego sets, mix them together, and build something completely new. Then in about 4th grade, I was introduced to Lego robotics, which is where you have a actual robot that you could program, and you start with this brick, and that would feed information to Lego motors, and it would all communicate as a system, and you could do a lot of really cool robotic tasks with that. And that was really the start of me looking into engineering. The engineering I'm looking to pursue at first is mechanical engineering. This is what I'm going to go to UCF for, and this is going to be the start of my career. A mechanical engineer can really do anything. They work with a lot of thermodynamics and a lot of vibrations and really just anything that moves. So a lot of fields use mechanical engineering. I want to go past that and specialize into biomedical engineering, which is more along the lines of surgical robotics and medical machinery. I want to develop surgical robots, and with that I need to know exactly how the human body functions and how it functions with robotic systems. Essentially, I'll be able to design a system where a person will be able to communicate with a motor and hopefully improve their quality of life, whether this be through a surgical robot that a doctor is controlling or whether it's a prosthetic that's motorized.
I taught Josh his freshman year. He was so good with that inventor material. He picked up on it very quickly. He was ready to jump in and help other students, which I really appreciated. And he has carried those characteristics with him as he has moved through the program. And now with his journey moving forward in bioengineering, I can't wait to see what he's going to make with his knee brace and the orthotics that he's trying to produce.
The current prosthetic I'm looking at developing is a load-bearing knee brace in which I'm going to take a motor or servo and attach that to the knee, which will enable a person to be able to push past what their muscles currently are able to do, whether that be because of muscle fatigue or osteoarthritis in the kneecap where they're not able to put a lot of pressure on their knee. Current knee braces really only work when walking. There's still a lot of pain when there's extra forces being applied to the knee, such as walking upstairs or standing up from sitting down, things you and I normally don't think about. But for someone that has severe arthritis in their knee, this is hugely painful.
The strongest advantages of project-based learning, that hands-on experience that allows you to manipulate that material, really solidifies in the brain exactly how those things work.
The thing I would say about this program where it exceeds the most is the more you use it, the more it'll benefit you.
There she is.
Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 27th at 5:31 p.m., and I would like to call this meeting to order. And tonight, Member Autumn Garrick has our invocation and pledge.
Excellent. Well, welcome everyone. Tonight's invocation is inspired by the Lake Mary Little League team, who on their journey to becoming the Little League World Champions. On their journey, they captured our hearts. So I have a short poem by Mr. Knight. The game was tied in the bottom of 9, a runner on third and 2 out. In the dead, still air, a mosquito's whine was all you could hear, then a shout. Do something, Ben, murder the ball, for crying out loud, get a hit. Ben strode to the plate to answer the call. The now restless fans knew this was it. He dug in his right foot, then positioned his left. He tapped the plate twice with his bat. Then he pulled it back slowly as to measure its heft, intensed his whole frame like a cat. The pitcher glared in, the ump hunkered down, then the ball on its way like a shot. Ben pulled the trigger, his body unwound, and the ball hit the ball with and the bat hit the ball hit the bat with a thwack. This is the sum that the game's all about. This instant, it's not just a dream. The split-second physics, a hit or an out, each player and fan poised to scream. And while I really enjoy the poet's words, I would have to argue that those 12 baseball players showed us that it wasn't about a hit or an out. They won before they ever even took the field. The lesson that I took away from that team was brought to life, and it's one that I hope that guides us tonight. Success is a team sport. We must practice, work hard, have guts, be resilient, and above all, show grace and kindness. And now if you'll all please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Member Garrick. That was beautiful. Their sportsmanship was just unbelievable as well. I'd like the record to reflect that all board members are in attendance, and we have Member Amy Pennick, Member Kelly Davis, Member Autumn Garrick, Vice Chair Christine Krause, and myself, as well as our school board attorney, Carlene Cole-Palmer, and our superintendent, Sarita Beeman, as well as our clerk, Jill Moramus. Thank you. And I have no acknowledgements tonight, which none of forms for that. So, but I do see quite a few people in the crowd, so thank you for being here. And I apologize for my hoarseness on my voice. All right, so since I have no acknowledgements, Superintendent, do we have any agenda modifications?
Yes, Chair, we do. The addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. And board members, I am pulling item 6L and 6V from tonight's agenda. Both are related to the Lake Mary Elementary School renovation project and will be brought back to you at a future meeting.
Thank you so much. Agenda modifications for board members and roll call order today. Vice Chair Krause, do you have any agenda modifications?
No modifications, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Pennick?
No modifications.
Thank you. Member Davis?
No modifications.
Thank you. Member Garrick?
No modifications, thank you.
Perfect, thank you. So since there's no modifications, do we have a motion to approve the agenda outlined?
Motion.
moved.
Second.
All right, so moved. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Superintendent, my favorite part. Do we have presentations?
Yes, we have a number tonight, and we will get started with our Veteran of the Month, Ms. Wofford, who will be introduced by Mr. Turner, the Assistant Principal of Millwee Middle School.
Shannon Wofford served in the United States Navy on the U.S. Frank Gable AS-40 from 1993 to 1997 as Petty Officer, 3rd Class, Instrument Man. Petty Officer Wofford was stationed in Guam and traveled and worked in Korea, Japan, Australia during her enlistment. As an instrument man, Wofford performed routine maintenance on gauges and other equipment for submarines and other ships. She trained in mechanical calibration in nearby Pensacola, Florida, and focused her work in the oxygen department of calibration. Shannon Wofford also assisted in monitoring vessels when at sea and was a member of the hazardous materials response team. Coach Wofford has been a member of our Millwee Spartan family since 2005, teaching physical and health science. Thank you, Coach Wofford, for both your service to our country and our students. Congratulations, Petty Officer Wofford, on being selected as Veteran of the Month.
Good evening. I am so proud and excited to present Miss Ramanita Cancel, an SCPS bus driver operator for the past 14 years, who has been named as the 2023-2024 Florida Bus Operator of the Year by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Florida Missing Children's Day Foundation, and the Missing Endangered Persons Information Clearinghouse Advisory Board. This award recognizes exceptional, extraordinary, or outstanding activity that safely located, recovered, or prevented a child from abduction or a situation of imminent harm. Ms. Cancel, during a routine morning route, demonstrated unparalleled quick thinking and courage. Upon noticing a suspicious interaction between a young girl and an unknown male in a black pickup truck, Ramanita immediately sprang into action. She observed the girl's discomfort and hesitation, recognizing the signs of potential danger. Without hesitation, Ramanita intervened, boldly confronting the individual and preventing the girl from being taken. Her swift actions not only halted a potentially perilous situation, but also ensured the safety and well-being of the child under her care. Following the incident, Ramanita took further initiative by pursuing the perpetrator, obtaining vital information, and promptly alerting the authorities. Her proactive approach undoubtedly played a pivotal role in apprehending the individual and preventing future harm. Ms. Ramanita will be recognized at a formal ceremony on September 9th in Tallahassee by the awarding agencies. Congratulations, Ms. Cancel. We are so glad you're part of SCPS family. If Ms. Cancel's family would also join us up to take a picture with board members as well. Miss Cancel is joined by several, I think 3 generations of family member representatives. So please come up and join Auntie or Grandma.
Okay, good evening. That is a tough one to follow. Superintendent Beeman and school board members, I'm excited to be here tonight. I am Missy Mercado, the program manager for the Foundation for Seminole County Public Schools, and I'm excited to be here to recognize Duke Energy for a $40,000 grant to the foundation. Duke Energy is a long-standing partner of the foundation, supporting us with grants and scholarships. Their employees are also great supporters of the foundation by volunteering as mentors, serving on our committees, and even our board of directors. This grant will support 2 of our core programs, Grants for Great Ideas, which gives classroom grants to teachers, enhancing learning through hands-on experiences, and supporting our Take Stock in Children program, which is a high school mentoring and scholarship program. Joining us tonight is Sharon Arroyo, VP of Government and Community Relations, and Patty D'Alessandro, Manager of Government and Community Relations. Thank you to Duke Energy.
Good evening, school board members and Superintendent Beeman. It is with great excitement that I introduce 4 new members to our middle school leadership team. First, we have from Indian Trails Middle School, Assistant Principal Adam Kiefer. Mr. Kiefer attended the University of Northern Iowa, where he completed his bachelor's degree in mathematics teaching and minored in athletic coaching and accounting. After teaching both high school and middle school in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, he moved to Central Florida in search of some slightly warmer weather and worked at South Seminole Academy for 11 years. While at South Seminole, Mr. Kiefer fulfilled the roles as a high-impact math teacher, a curriculum leader, and an instructional coach, while also providing instructional leadership by leading various school improvement initiatives. In 2022, Mr. Kiefer joined the Assessment and Accountability Department, where he worked on the program evaluation team and designed progress monitor dashboards utilized by all levels of the district to quickly identify and respond to gaps in student learning. He is a proud graduate of the University of Central Florida, where he earned his master's degree in K-8 mathematics and science education in 2017 and earned his specialist degree in educational leadership in 2023. Joining Adam tonight is his wife, Courtney, and daughter, Hannah, as well as the principal of Indian Trails Middle School, Trish Harshafi, members of the South Seminole Academy team and Indian Trails team. Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Lynette Gonzalez, Assistant Principal at Millennium Middle School. Dr. Gonzalez is a dedicated educator with a diverse and impactful career. Born and raised in Puerto Rico, she began her teaching journey on the island, where she spent 7 years as a middle and high school social studies teacher, igniting a passion for learning in her students. Transitioning to Seminole County Public Schools, she first served as a math interventionist at Rock Lake Middle School before taking on the role of math teacher at South Seminole Academy. Over her 11-year tenure at South Seminole, Dr. Gonzalez made significant contributions as a teacher and curriculum leader, eventually advancing to positions as an instructional coach and magnet facilitator. Her commitment to educational excellence and leadership is further underscored by her academic achievements, which includes a bachelor's degree in secondary history education from the University of Puerto Rico, a master's in K-8 science and math education from the Lockheed Martin UCF Math and Science Academy, and a doctorate in educational leadership from the University of Central Florida. Joining her this evening are her daughters, Isis and Alanis, her mother, Sonia, her nephew, Alexander, her friend, Ali Bermudez, Principal of Millennium Middle School, Crystal Higgs, and members of the South Seminole Academy team. Former Principal Dr. Mia Coleman is also here to celebrate her. Next, we have Deborah Boss from Assistant Principal at Millwee Middle School. Deborah Boss holds a Bachelor's of Science in Inclusive Elementary and Special Education with a double major in History from Syracuse University, as well as a Master's of Arts in the Teaching of Social Studies from Teacher College at Columbia University, and a Master's of Education in Educational Leadership. Her extensive background reflects a deep commitment to both pedagogy and leadership in education. In her professional career, she served as an assistant principal at a K-8 charter school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she played a key role in shaping the educational environment. After relocating to Florida 2.5 years ago, she worked as a civics teacher at Jackson Heights Middle School and later as a dean of students at Tuscaloosa Middle School. Additionally, she has experience as an adjunct professor in both the liberal arts and education departments at the University of Bridgeport, Rowan University at Burlington County, and the University of Phoenix. Her diverse work history also includes teaching U.S. history in Westport, Connecticut, and serving as a GED instructor at the El Rio Learning Center at Pima Community College. Joining her this evening is her husband, Patrick Boss, sons Hunter, Dominic, and Vincent, and daughters Camilla and Vivian Boss. We also have Principal of Millwee, Mr. Jim Kubis, Assistant Principal Brian Turner, former Principal at Tuscaloosa, Principal Randy Schuler, and members of the Tuscaloosa Middle School team are all here to join in celebrating her. Please come join and take the picture. Tuscaloosa, come on and join in the picture. Next, we have Cindy Brennan, Assistant Principal at Sanford Middle School. Ms. Brennan originally started in a technology career with IBM, but found her way to education after the catastrophic September 11 events. Finding education is one of her biggest blessings and is her true calling and passion. Ms. Brennan began her career in Orange County Public Schools as an intensive math teacher at Maitland Middle, and then 5 years later became their dean. During her time as a dean at Maitland Middle, her administration began encouraging her to become an assistant principal. She earned her specialist degree in educational leadership from Nova Southeastern University. Ms. Brennan became an assistant principal in Orange County and has served at Sunridge Middle School, Memorial Middle, and Eagles Nest Elementary. After 21 years in Orange County Public Schools, with 11 of those years as an assistant principal, she's excited to start a new journey of learning and growing in Seminole County Public Schools. Ms. Brennan was drawn to the positive culture she heard of so much about over the years. Joining her this evening is her significant other, Mr. Carl Island, the principal of Sanford Middle School, Dr. Mia Coleman, and her family is cheering her on from home. Congratulations.
All right, good evening, Superintendent Beeman and board members. Tonight I have two high school assistant principals that we are excited to have joining our team. I'd first like to start out from Seminole High School. Would you welcome Kenneth Kalina? Kenny received his Bachelor's of Science from the University of North Florida in History and a Master's of Education from Jacksonville University. Mr. Kalina was a former security guard, a testing chair, ISS teacher, social studies teacher, and graduation coach at First Coast High School in Jacksonville. And he was also a former assistant principal at Leesburg High School. Mr. Kalina instituted restorative practices on 4 different campuses, which resulted in dramatic decline in discipline offenses and increase in positive school culture. His impact was also felt as a member of the graduation team, where his school set records as the highest graduation rate for 10 straight academic school years. Joining, as you see here, is his wife, Brianna Kalina, Kiana Kalina, 5-year-old, Branny Kalina, and Eli Kalina. By the way, Eli, I hear, has a birthday coming up, about to be 2 on August 28th, tomorrow. And they are joined with the staff from Seminole High School. Where'd they go? Oh, they're up there. You're up there already. Welcome, Kenny. Congratulations. All right, next up from Lake Brantley High School, newest assistant principal, Mr. John Rondone. Mr. Rondone began his career as a math teacher and a football coach at Oviedo High School, as well as Colonial High School. A few years ago, he became the school administration manager over testing at Oviedo High School while earning his leadership degree. He is now a proud assistant principal at Lake Brantley High School, leading their math team, athletics, Air Force Junior ROTC, and Young Men of Excellence. When he's not at work, he proudly shares that his wife, Allie, and he have a beautiful little girl, Charlotte, who runs all around their house. We'd like to welcome Allie, come on up, and as well his daughter, Charlotte Rondone. Congratulations. And also welcome the principal of Lake Brantley High School, Mr. Blazewitz, and administrative team. Surprise!
All right, well, it gives me great excitement to welcome the new assistant principal at Endeavor School, Miss Amy Cruz. Amy holds a bachelor's degree in special education from the University of Illinois and a master's degree in educational leadership from the American College of Education. She began her teaching journey here in Seminole County as a self-contained teacher at Rock Lake Middle School, later transitioning to a support facilitation role. After several years at Rock Lake, Amy took a county-level position coaching ESE teachers and sharing her knowledge and experience across the district for a few years. Her journey then led her to Seminole High School, where she served as a SAM. And this year, Amy is excited to continue her career in exceptional student education at Endeavor, and we look forward to the wonderful things that she's going to do for that school. With her tonight is her proud principal, Jacob Jarzinka, and the entire Amy Cruz Hype Squad here. So. Yes, her friends from Seminole, too. Come join us.
Y'all have a great evening. Thank you so much.
It's the one with the
Drive safely.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
Have a hand sanitizer.
All right. Wow, that was wonderful, celebrating so many fabulous employees, and it's always one of my favorite things. All right, Superintendent Beeman, would you like to go ahead and?
Yes, we have chaired 2 presentations tonight focused on student achievement, and our first will be led by Dr. Sean Gard Harold as it relates to Seminole High School's Health Academy, followed by a school and district grades update by Ms. Kelly Thompson.
Fabulous, thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman and School Board. So all of you have had the opportunity already to visit our Academy of Health Careers, but I think it was important to share with our public that the money that our legislature and that the federal government and that our partners have provided to Seminole County Public Schools is going to good use. And so I wanted to just remind us quickly how it started at the Academy of Health Careers. So the pictures that you're seeing now are anywhere from 1 year ago to about 4 months ago. And so when you see the outcome of everything that's been done over there at the Academy of Health Careers, you will see that we have made some pretty drastic changes. We had outdated instructional spaces, outdated technology, and this isn't because Seminole County Public Schools isn't investing in its programs. It's because these are high-dollar programs that require quite a bit of funding in order to make sure that they run and that they maintain an industry standard. And so that's why we had to really make great efforts to get this done. And so you can see in some of these classrooms, in this one here, you can see the beds. Those are not what you see, hopefully, when you are going to a hospital. If it is, you may want to select a different hospital. But those are the hospital beds that we had about a year ago in the Academy of Health Careers. And since that time, based on partnerships, based on federal funds, local or state funds, we have been able to upgrade our Academy of Health Careers. Even the equipment that our students were using to test vital signs of patients was not up to the industry standard. And then finally, you can see here on the left there, that's called a Hoyer lift. It's for assisting patients in getting in and out of bed, and that is not an industry standard piece of equipment at this time. And so we were dependent on our legislators, both state and federal, and thanks to the support of Senator Broder, Representative Smith, and former Congresswoman Stephanie Murphy, we received about $2.8 million in funding for the Academy of Health Careers. And I just want to go back to where that 2.8 came from. In August of 2021, this board was made aware that we did not receive an MSAP grant in order to revitalize the Academy of Health Careers, and we persisted. You persisted. And so we took this to the legislature twice before it was funded. The first time we thought we had some partial funding, and then it ended up being diverted for hurricane relief, as you know, you simply can't predict. But we were able to bring this across the finish line, and so we're very excited about the $2.8 million that we are investing in the Academy of Health Careers. This wasn't just the work of our legislators, it was also represented by phenomenal partnerships in our county. Every one of our hospitals, Orlando Health, Advent Health, Oviedo Medical Center, which is an HCA hospital in Nemours, all came to the table every time we needed a letter of support, every time we needed to tour their spaces to make sure that what we were creating was industry standard. They always said yes. The door is always open for all of our hospital partners. As well as our hospital partners, we had True Value Drugs of Sanford, the Florida Health Department, Seminole State College, UCF, and of course the Foundation for Seminole County Public Schools is a relentless advocate for our career and technical education programs, constantly bringing new funding opportunities to the table. So there are thousands of people that we could stand here and thank, but we would inevitably miss one, but we are super grateful for everything that has been brought to us. And so how's it going? Things have changed a bit, so let's take a little look at how it's going. And so, as you see there, everything we promised to do, we have not only done, but we are continuing to do. And so a couple of things. We promised to update technology, the anatomage tables that we now have 2 of and are getting ready to order a 3rd. One of our hospital partners, as they were leaving the ribbon cutting, said, "We are so jealous." And so for our students to be learning in an environment that even makes the hospitals envious, I think really prepares them for a phenomenal future. And we are not finished. So we still have some funding left to make some final adjustments. So even if you went over to the Health Academy today, you would see that we've done some door wraps. We are continuing to do things inside the classrooms in order to put on those finishing touches, but we wanted to get it open for the students on that first day of school. And so the final addition that we'll be making in January-ish is the purchase of a sim rig. And so just to share a little bit about what a sim rig is, I have about a 1-minute video here.
Introducing the SimRig Ambulance Trainer, the most comprehensive classroom ambulance on the market. The SimRig allows instructors to simulate the entire call process with an ambulance parked in your classroom or trailer to your campus. Whether you're preparing for the field or continuing education, the SimRig allows students the ability to practice real-life, fast-paced scenarios by getting hands-on experience in the confines of an ambulance.
EMS 41 inbound to your facility with a 4 or 5-year-old male. Chief complaint, sudden onset, crushing chest pain.
Both the classroom and mobile version arrive equipped with over 30 standard features, built to precisely mimic a real ambulance. The SimRig Ambulance Trainer is designed for schools and training facilities that aren't held back by traditional teaching methods. So if you want to teach your students what a textbook can't, and produce the most prepared generation of emergency medical professionals, then...
So We will, if you've ever been in the lobby of the Academy of Health Careers, that space has not yet been renovated, but it will be, and that will be part of our simulation lab where we will have our sim rig installed. It will have a window in the side so that then we can also have students outside the sim rig doing that observation. But I really wanted to take this opportunity to thank the board because you have said yes at every single turn, and every time that we wanted to go for more funding, or we wanted to ask the legislature, or we wanted to bring in a partner to say thank you to them for their contribution, you have said yes. And so your commitment to the welfare of healthcare in Seminole County Public Schools is going to benefit not only our school district and our students, but our community at large. So thank you very much for your commitment to the Academy of Health Careers and Career and Technical Education in Seminole County Public Schools.
Well, first of all, we want to thank you and your fabulous team. I'll let everybody else speak on behalf of it too, but your vision and your team's vision and everything that you all have done to create this is like nothing I've seen in any other county throughout the world and even our state country. So kudos to you and your team and for everything that you do to lead this great team. These hands-on activities, the money spent, the way you all continued to fight, thank you so much. So we want to thank you. Now I'll leave it to the other board members to go ahead and go from there. Sorry, I just had to do that. Christina.
You know, Kelly's going to expect a standing ovation as well.
Okay, you got it. Dr. Gard-Harold, thank you for your persistence, and thank you for always keeping our students first. You are a huge asset to our Seminole County family, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Same.
No, I'll wait for everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
One of the things I did want to share with you, Dr. Gard-Harold, that I told you, I believe, that day is your attention to detail, but more than that, your leadership and making sure that everybody has an investment in the project. You are a phenomenal leader and an inspiration to all of the other teams throughout our district. Thank you.
So much. That's it. That's all you get from me. That's all you get. No, just kidding.
Fabulous.
It is always incredibly difficult to follow Dr. Gard-Harold on any day,
That's
but
okay.
after
We'll do a
this,
standing ovation
I
for you.
lobbied Ms. Beeman for me to go first, so I wouldn't have to follow that, but clearly not. So good evening, board members and Ms. Beeman. I'm here this evening to provide an update on the 2024 school and district grades, not near as exciting as the Health Academy, I will just say right away. So Seminole County Public Schools is once again an A-rated school district. The Florida Department of Education, yes, clap. The Florida Department of Education began awarding school grades in 1999, but began awarding district grades in 2004. And in the 20 years of our district grades, Seminole County has been an A-rated school district 19 times out of those 20 years. So phenomenal work that's been done by our teachers, our community, our schools, and the support that we have had from the school board and from Ms. Beeman. So I want to talk a little bit about the school grade and a little bit about how that grade comes to be. The school grade is based upon the components that you're seeing in this model. Each component or each box is worth 100 points. So for English language arts, there are 400 points possible in the district grade, 100 points for ELA achievement, which is based upon the percentage of our students in grades 3 through 10 who score a level 3 or above on the FAST ELA assessment. New this year was a component for 100 points of the grade being based upon the percentage of students in grade 3 only who scored a level 3 and above, and 200 points in ELA is based on learning gains for a percentage of students of all students in grades 4 through 10 who demonstrate a gain, and then 100 points for learning gains earned by students in the lowest performing 25% of students. For the mathematics components, there are 300 points possible. Math includes grades 3 through 8 FAST math and algebra and geometry end of course assessments. These components are level 3 and above performance, learning gains, and low 25 learning gains. There are 100 points possible for science, which includes grade 5, grade 8 statewide science, and the biology EOC in a district grade. 100 points for social studies, for middle school civics, and high school U.S. history. 100 points for middle school acceleration, And high school graduation rate and a high school college and career acceleration rate are worth 100 points each. These two components are unique in that they are lagging data, meaning that the data in this year's district grade and for our high school grades is based upon the class of 2023. The class of 2024, our recent graduates, their data for these two components will be included in this year's 24-25 district and school grade. Also, you see on this slide are the scales that we use to assign letter grades, that are used to assign letter grades to school. Unlike a traditional grading scale that most people are used to with 100 to 90 as an A, the school grade scales are slightly different than that. The school grade scales is based upon different scale ranges. So for middle, high, combination schools, and district schools, you'll see that those ranges are an A, 64 to 100, and then on down. And for elementary school, those ranges are 62 for 100 for an A. The scales that you're seeing here are new scales. These scales are determined by the State Board of Education, and these were new scales that were adopted this past year as a result of moving to the fast progress monitoring assessment. So these were newly implemented this year. This slide represents SCPS's score in each of the components that I just detailed for the 2024 school grade. Seminole County Public Schools earned 792 points of the 1,200 possible for an A grade of 66%. So some context for that. How did we do in comparison to other districts from around the state? This slide displays Seminole County Public Schools ranking in Central Florida, the largest 14, and for all districts overall. We are number 1 in Central Florida, number 2 in the largest 14, and number 12 in the state overall in terms of points earned and the percentages of those points. But please keep in mind when you're looking at the overall district rankings that you have to keep in mind the context of these scores and the districts that are serving in Florida. The table that you see at the bottom provides some of this context by detailing the enrollment of some of the districts that scored higher than we did, as well as some of their other demographic data. Florida is a large state and it serves a very diverse and wide variety of communities. 2 of the school districts that scored higher than we did in points have less students overall enrolled in their district than we do in even one of our high schools. So just something to keep in mind as we look overall at our performance across the state. For our school grades, 82% of Seminole County Public Schools received a grade of an A or a B for our 2024 school grades. And for our focus school success, we see that this table represents that Lair, Pinecrest, and Spring Lake have improved their school grade from 2022 to 2024. Dr. Marion Cummings, in her role as the assistant principal of our student and school success, works very closely with these schools to keep these schools on a trajectory of growth. As a reminder, the 2022 grades are used for this comparison because in 2023, those were informational grades only, and there were no learning gains included in 2023 grades. So for an accurate comparison, we need to go back to when the full school grade model was last used, which would have been the spring of 22. So now, progress monitoring is now underway for the 2024-25 school year. Our students began taking the FAST Progress Monitor #1 yesterday, and so their work is ongoing throughout this week, and our district window will close on September the 6th. Just a reminder that this PM1 score is designed to provide a baseline score for students at the beginning of the year before instruction has begun in the course, so teachers can see where our students are starting. The students will take a progress monitor again during the winter time. That's that mid-year look. Half of instruction is complete. What growth are we seeing from PM1 to PM2? And then PM3 in May is that summative assessment to determine students' mastery of the benchmarks at that particular grade level for those students. Just some reminders about FAST progress monitoring. This is the 3rd year that the FAST assessments have been given. These are computer adaptive tests, and when the student takes the test, even this first one, they are seeing the full scope of the grade level content and the full depth of that content, even though they've had just a tiny bit of instruction on that. And that's just to get that baseline score of where the student is beginning prior to instruction. So as parents look at these results, they need to remember that this is a snapshot from the beginning of the year. It's designed for us to show growth. Often we'll see that students may be performing a little lower than what parents may have expected or anticipated, but that's because they're being tested on content that they may not have seen yet, so we're just kind of seeing where they are prior to instruction. That does not necessarily mean that the student will perform below grade level as we move throughout the course of the year and get to the end of the year. Students in VPK through grade 10 take the ELA FAST assessments, and students in VPK through grade 8 take the FAST math assessments. So for our parents, how can they keep track and keep up to date with their students' scores? Student scores are available to parents in the family portal provided by the Department of Education within 24 to 48 hours of the student taking the test. So there's no longer this long period of waiting to see how your student did. The scores are available right away. When parents go to the family portal, there is a view detail report that will give them lots of information about what the score means and how they can help support their students. Parents can access the family portal through Skyward Family Access. We also have some brochures on our district website under the Assessment Accountability area, both in English and Spanish, that help provide parents direction on how to get to that family portal. The DOE has loaded assessment data back from the fall of 2020 through now, so they can see back to 2020 for historical performance. When a parent logs in, this is a look at what parents see, and the parents should be able to see these things very shortly in the portal for the current year. The first thing they land on is a subject area page in which you see math, ELA, and writing represented. The parent can go in and you can see the box there where it says view all tests, and when the parent views those tests, they see a more detailed look. So for this screen shows our mathematics tests, and you see that they see a breakdown of the subject, the level of the student performance. They see a scale score, a percentile rank, and then over on the side where it says new, there is a detailed report that parents can click on to give them even more detailed information. So this detailed report page has some additional tabs, and that information, it breaks down that information into some helpful resources for that student and kind of gives some ideas for parents to help their student as they grow within particular areas. It also provides the different individual categories for scoring. So for ELA, there's many, many things students are tested on. So like in reading, poetry, and prose, this is how your student did. So the parent gets a better understanding of student strengths and areas where students may need some support. One of the things we suggest that our parents do is to download this detailed report. This detailed family report is very comprehensive. It reflects the overall performance. It tells parents how their student score compares to those in the district and also from around the state, so you get a little bit of context for your student performance. It also provides a lot more detailed look at those individual reporting categories. So this is something that we really hope our parents are taking a look at. If parents have questions about getting into the portal or any of these reports, they can contact their school or their students' teachers. They're very well versed in the portal, and they're there to help parents understand their students' scores and how to best support their learning. So we are off to a good start for the 24-25 school year. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. First, I'll let you guys ask questions in roll call order first, or if you want to just go.
I would just like to thank you, first of all, for already providing us a walkthrough. And I can't believe this is week 2 of school and we're already testing progress monitoring our kids, sorry. But thank you for providing this presentation.
Member Pennick?
Ellie, I just have a question. You said the DOE adopted the new grading scale, the 100%, 90%, or ABC. Did we look at how we would have compared to the last one? Just would it have affected us at all?
So DOE put out, there were 3 different versions of the scales that they put forth for public comment, and our team did a detailed analysis of which of these options that were available out there. This is the first time we've had different scales for different types of schools. There was one scale that it would have been probably more beneficial maybe for elementary versus secondary, another that was more positive for secondary versus elementary. Districts from around the state and the public provided comment, and that's where we looked. We did a per Ms. Beeman's request, we did a really deep dive into that so that we could provide quality input on what was best for the district. Overall, where they landed is it's good for both levels. It may be a little confusing for some to have two different scales with the 64 for the combination and the 62 for elementary, but we'll get used to working off of those two different scales as we get more experience with it.
But in the old scale, would we have had different outcomes? Or
some. We would have not tremendously different, and we may have had a couple schools that were borderline that their grades would have gone one way or the other, but it would not have been tremendously different, regardless of what they had done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Ms.
appreciate the detail so much. Your thoroughness is wonderful.
Member Davis?
I just want to thank you. Again, it's a lot of work to do, and I appreciate you explaining all of this today as well. I think that it helps, parents and the community as well to be able to evaluate their own students. Thank you.
Member Garrick?
I want to say thank you, Kelly, and I especially appreciate the care with which you and the assistant superintendents and the principals have all looked at and discussed the data. When Dr. Cummings and I visited on the very first day, we already saw data charts up, and folks were looking at, okay, so where are the kids that we need some extra supports, and how are we going to make sure that we can support kids at every level, whether they're a 1 or a 5. So that was work being done on the very first day of school, and I know it's because we want to make sure that each and every one of our students has at least a 3, and for those that need extra enrichment, that we prepare them with that as well. So thank you, and thank you, team.
First of all, thank you very much. Sorry about my voice. It takes a village, and everybody working together collaboratively. I appreciate you, as well as our teachers, administrators, the students, everybody, the paras, you name it. And I know that Ms. Cardona, and this is something that has always been concerning for me, and I know for all of us, a lot of our students that are not English language speakers have to take this test in English. Am I correct? Yes. So for anybody that's listening and understands this, our children are making exceptional gains, even in a language that they've never been exposed to or don't even understand yet. And that is amazing. And this is something that, is adopted from the state, that we have embraced and done whatever we need to do. And with our Student Success Express bus, I know that is also helping us understand for our parents, like the portal, for example. Can the parents see their data in Spanish, or do we have to transfer it to Spanish or any other language?
It's my understanding that there's an option for parents to select their language when they go into the portal.
That's great news. So that's great. So they can at least see that part, and that. Too bad that our students can't see it in their own language but they get, dictionaries and, reference materials. However, like I said, it takes everybody working together collaboratively, and so thank you so much for all that. And we always said this, and me heading up to Tallahassee all the time, I don't think people realize that these are state-mandated tests. When we were told we were going to have less testing, we have actually more assessments. And so teachers and anybody in the school system, thank you, because it's a lot. We're trying to wrap our heads around everything that you all have to do day in and day out, and it's a lot. But we're doing the best. You all are doing the best, and we couldn't thank you enough for everything that you're doing to instill a love of lifelong learners and doing hands-on activities, not just focusing on one component, a moving piece. It's everything. So thank you.
And standing ovation for
Yes, we're going to. Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
That has to be a first for testing.
We can do the wave. All right. So now we are on for board items for discussion. Vice Chair, do you have any items for discussion?
Just a few things that I'd like to share, things that we attended. The superintendent and I were invited to Evans Elementary to do a ribbon cutting on one of their pet projects. It was a book vending machine. And thank you to the Oviedo Women's Club and Mrs. Vaccaro for working together to have this opportunity for our students. Mrs. Hardy, thank you for always welcoming us. It was a phenomenal, the kids were all very excited, and they earn opportunities, you know, between behavior, being helpful, good grades, and showing up, that they could get a coin, a special commemorative coin to pick out a book. So that was really fun. Haggerty High School, happy 20th birthday. The superintendent and I were able to attend their celebration. The culinary students put on a feast for us. We had 4 superintendents, Dr. Haggerty, Dr. Vogel, Dr. Griffin, and Superintendent Beeman. So it was an opportunity to see the leadership and how the baton has been passed through our district. It was really an awesome celebration, and thank you, Mr. Frasca, for including us. We all attended, well, several of us attended the FSBA regional meeting, also held at Ron Booker at Orange County, discussion on bus safety, and also pre-developing state legislative platforms. And I'll save the rest for my committee reports. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Member Pennick?
I have nothing.
All right. Member Davis?
I don't have anything to add to as far as reporting, but I just want to thank everyone who got this school year started this year. I think that it's gone very well. The way that I tell is I drive by the bus stops and I can see kids smiling, waiting to get on that bus. Sometimes as it gets closer to Christmas, you know, you see them all frustrated. You know, they don't want to joke with each other and things like that. So it's really good to see the happiness that they have waiting to go to school. So I just hope that we can continue to generate those smiles with our emotional support and obviously any assistance that they need along the way. But I want to thank you all for making that all happen.
Thank you. Member Garrick?
The highlight, of course, was the first day kickoff. We all got to attend the celebration of ringing the bell at Lyman High School. Well, sorry, at Lyman, most of us, at Lyman High School this year, 100 years. I just want to say a special thank you to the Lyman leadership team. It was seamless. They really made us shine and showed the best that our district has to offer, from the marching band to the cheerleaders. Red Apple Dining, of course, rolled out the red carpet, showing us their brand new facilities, and it was just a phenomenal event. And then Dr. Cummings and I, as I mentioned, we got to do our school visits. And it was phenomenal not just to see the students engaged in learning on the very first day. Yes, absolutely, real lesson plans. They dove right in. But also we got to stop and visit several brand new teachers, and they are so excited to be here. It was the first day, and in walked an assistant superintendent and a board member, and they didn't miss a beat. They smiled, they paused their students for a second, and then they got right back to work. So it was just a really uplifting day. I also wanted to say a couple of things. We've gotten, all of us, I'm sure, have gotten some emails about some hiccups that they're experiencing. I just want to say a special thank you to all of the people at the school level and beyond for making sure that all of our families and students have everything that they need to be successful. There was one former student that had had a particularly difficult time tracking down her diploma, and she needed it for a job. Now, she graduated in the 90s and could not find her diploma anywhere. She had gone to the records office, she had gone to the school, she had gone above and beyond trying to find this diploma. And when I brought it to the superintendent's attention, she said, "We'll get it if it's out there." And so she dug deep, went to our Seminole State. Of course, Carolyn Bedsole was just phenomenal, managed to find this diploma. I got a big smile of the woman who was able to pursue her career dreams now that she has her diploma finally. So I just want to say thank you very much for all of the people, for the things that you do day in and day out, large and small. The ripples that we make with our education impact the community in ways that you will never know. So that's my little happy story.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and, first of all of us are paired off with different assistant superintendents on the first day of school and have that opportunity to go to different schools and visit. Not all the schools do we visit, but we have a great time. Superintendent Beeman and I had a wonderful time. The media followed us around, and it was a fun day, except for the fact that we didn't get to eat lunch until 2:30, and that's why I'm wasting away, okay? So, there. But it was a magnificent day for all of us. We all enjoyed it. We appreciate all of our administrators, teachers, faculty, staff, bus drivers. Of course, waving our bus drivers off on the first day of school is one of our favorite traditions. And having the boom box going with Don Bonts with the music going, that was great. And then, of course, doing that with over at Midway, Superintendent Beeman and some of the other assistant superintendents, we did Midway on a Friday, I believe, at 5:30 in the morning. That was a lot of fun. I wanted to take this time to say that there were so many things that happened in this past month, like the new education conference. That conference was packed. I was actually pleasantly surprised to see how many wonderful new teachers we have coming into our county. And it was a great turnout with a lot of positive energy in there, wishing all of our new teachers a wonderful year. And they have a great program that we wrap around. Just went blank on the program that we use. Thank you. NEST, the NEST program. And that program each school has and really helps our teachers. So we continue with that, and that helps hopefully keep those educators here. Also wanted to mention that our Student Success Express bus, thank you, Dr. Minnie Cardona and everybody else. I know this has been something that I had a vision of as well for many years. Can't wait to roll out number 2. But I know, you're like, okay, only one right now. We will be heading to, this weekend, to Bookertown Community Center in Sanford, 4631 Gilbert Street in Sanford. This is a great opportunity for anyone in that underserved area or anybody that wants to check out all the wonderful services that are provided. And you can pull it up online. We do have, I'm not going to read it all because there's so many services on there, but you can find out anything that you need, any help that you might need, go onto that Student Success Express bus. It is rolling around town, and it is there and readily available for anybody for all services. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of our business partners, because without them we would not be able to do half the things or a quarter of the things, because as you know, sometimes my success in Tallahassee hasn't been where I want it to be, so we have to reach out to a lot of our partners and the foundation, as well as so many businesses that have come through for us to help stock our tools for teaching, all the Action Church events, back to school events, throughout everywhere. They have been critical in making sure that our employees as well as our students have what they need for school. And we are still taking donations constantly, so continue to help us, especially during these difficult times for many families. And we also had the Renovate for that hearing impaired room over at Altamont. Thank you, at Altamont Elementary. Thank you to Addition Financial for helping us with that. That room was just beautiful, and the news was there for that. And I will leave my committees for later, but I wanted to also thank everybody for the same thing that Member Garrick was saying, that thank you for working with us during trying to navigate through some of the tricky safety protocols that are being put in place right now, that we're mandated to do. It's taking a little time, but we appreciate your patience. And anybody listening, we appreciate everything that you are doing to help us with that. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to Disney, because Superintendent Beeman and I had a chance to go to Woodlands Elementary School and surprise them and their whole faculty with Donald Duck and Disney. And each of the teachers, employees received 2 Disney tickets and a parking pass, because that was the biggest sell right there. Oh my gosh, a parking pass. So we finally are able to release it because they wanted to wait, and it was a really, really neat experience to see all their faces light up and be so happy about it. So with that, I'm going to stop the regular board comments, and I'm going to go with the item number 6 in the board book with the RFP for lobby security. Member Davis, I heard you were interested in with that? Okay, is anybody else interested? All right, so, all right, Member Davis is going to, thank you so much, appreciate that. She's going to do the RFP for the lobby security. We appreciate that so much. And now it's time for public comment. Vice Chair Kraus, do you mind reading the statement?
No problem,
Thank you.
Policy 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. The purpose of the public participation segments of the board meeting is to allow the public to address matters within the board's jurisdiction and not to resolve individual grievances or disputes. Public comments related to education, the board agenda, and the district are welcome and encouraged, but public comment segments are not forums to engage in personal attacks against school system employees or board members. To maintain orderly conduct, the public comment segments of any meeting may not be used as open forums to discuss matters unrelated to education, to support or oppose candidates for public office, including presentation of political and/or campaign issues, announcing candidacy and/or campaigning, or to engage in commercial speech attempting to sell a service or product to the board or the public. Nor are they forums to address matters involving disciplinary actions of any kind, pending claims, complaints, or litigation against the district or district personnel. Public comment segments duration are as follows. Agenda items are limited to 3 minutes. One group representative speaking on a proposition, a maximum of 6 minutes. The speaker must remain on topic for agenda item or proposition. Non-agenda items limited to 2 minutes. Speakers shall direct their comments only to the board and may not address the audience or other speakers. No speaker may yield his or her time to any other person. Generally, substitutions of speakers will not be allowed.
Thank you. And we have one agenda item request from Nina Sandberg. Thank you.
I'm Nina Sandberg. I see you're going to spend some money for playground equipment. My children and children who I taught were forced to play on the concrete bus loops at recess because SCPS did not purchase enough playground equipment for all children to have access to the playground. Children would be forced to play on a concrete road or in an open field with no playground equipment, no sports equipment, no toys or anything. Sometimes at some elementary schools, entire grades of students had little or no access to the playground. Schools had playgrounds that were too small and or not enough playground equipment for the entire student population. Really, somebody needs to review the playground equipment situation at all of the elementary schools, and identify the schools which are critically short of playground equipment, and then devise some kind of plan to, over time, get some playground equipment for these schools that are very, very short. You also need to have someone assess the PE equipment situation in all of the schools, including the high schools, as some schools are critically short of PE equipment as well. Both playground equipment and PE equipment are critically underfunded in this school district. You need to try to find additional money for both the playgrounds and the PE programs if possible. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. For Superintendent, thank you, Ms. Sandberg. We are on consent agenda. Superintendent, do we have any modifications or any agenda?
No.
Okay. Anybody? All right. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Passes. Thank you. Right now, it's time for our committee updates. So now you get to speak again. Vice Chair Kraus, anything that you left off, you can please feel free to add.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'm part of the Steinway Society, which isn't an official committee, but they provide piano labs to some of our schools and pay the teacher to do after-school piano lessons. And I'm really proud to be a part. This was a Dee Dee Schaffner committee that I took along. They're having their main fundraiser of the year on Sunday evening, September 15th. It's at 5:30 at the Orlando Museum of Art. They have a featured singer, Cece, who is Aretha Franklin cover. It should be so much fun. Tickets are available if you go to steinway.com. It's on the website. I also serve on the foundation. We had our board meeting last week. In addition to that, the chair of the foundation met personally with each of us individually. They're working to develop their strategic plan and updates, and took our input, which I thought was really helpful. We work hand in glove with them. We couldn't do what we do without them, so I'm very grateful for that. We held our board meeting at Tools for Schools. They have already had over 300 visits, I think they said, week 1 of school. So teachers, make your appointments. You can shop once a month, and I encourage you to do so. And finally, I don't want this moment to pass. Jamie Minetto is in our grant writing department, and I'm sorry, I do not know your official title, but she works and researches and finds opportunities for our district, and she tracks them, and I am just really so hopeful for some of the ones that are proposed, especially this evening. And I wanted to thank you and your small, mighty team that you have. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you. That's all.
Member Pennick?
I had the audit committee meeting, and I provided you guys with the updates and the audit reports, and I have no other committees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Member Davis?
We had our first meeting of the year with the Seminole County Children's Alliance. That includes a combination of organizations that come together to discuss services that they can help the community and the children with. Those organizations include the Department of Children and Families, the Department of Juvenile Justice, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Agency of Persons with Disabilities, Seminole County Children's Cabinet, and the Family Partnership of Central Florida, and the Guardian Ad Litem program. All of those organizations provide assistance to families, and their goal is to make sure that all of the services that they can provide and all of the programs that they have can be known to all of the people that they come across. So they're developing a new format, new way to process data to where they can all get involved with a child, for example. If one organization can't provide everything that that child needs, then all of the other organizations can step in and provide those extra services that they may need. So it's an interesting group, and just the collection of knowledge that they have is pretty incredible. So I'm learning a lot from them as far as what our services really are from programs outside of Seminole County Public Schools. So I would encourage you, if you're in need, you can talk to your guidance counselor in your schools. They're aware of all of these programs as well. And if you need special services, I'm sure they'll direct you in the right way. That's it for now.
Thank you. Member Garrick?
We had the first Business Advisory Board meeting, so that was a great success. There's continuing an initiative they started last year, which are breakfasts in which they extend the opportunity to broaden their circle and opportunities for outside businesses to partner with us. So if you own a business, if you work at a business, if you have any business connections, please feel free to reach out. We want to make sure that any business out there has the opportunity to get involved with our schools, and it can be anything from donating a great big check, thank you, Duke, to some goods. We had playground equipment donated last year, which really revamped Lair Elementary. Was that the one? Excellent. Also, we were so fortunate, Sean Essler, a longtime Business Advisory Board member as well as a community leader, he and his wife own several businesses, and they hosted, I believe, a dozen, maybe 14 interns over the summer. So 4 of those interns, 3 or 4, were able to come to the Business Advisory Board meeting. They were learning about how government works, so that was exciting to see the interns in action. Another initiative led by Dr. Sean Gard-Harold and his many teams, so thank you very much. Again, if you have a small business or large business, please reach out because we would love to get you involved. I promise if you've got any energy or passion for education, we can find a place for you in the district. I also was able to go to the District 2 meeting at the Velma Williams Center in Goldsboro. That is Commissioner Wiggins' regular meeting. I want to say a big thank you to our principals and leadership teams throughout District 5. I'm thinking almost all of them, if not all of them, come to this meeting every month. They share some of the highlights and some of the challenges within their particular school. It's a great resource, not just for the District 5 area, but beyond, and many of those schools are magnets. So it's important that we kind of listen to those leaders and find out how we can best support our students there. And then a nonprofit that is been in existence for a while, but really has had a reboot in the last 6 to 10 months, the Unity Youth Alliance. I found out that not only did they have a great summer program that was well attended this summer, but they also had a number of students sign up for GED courses, and I don't remember the specific amount. I think it was like 12 or 15, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just excited to have that partner and making sure that we are continuing to serve not just our little students, but our great big students as they move on into adulthood so that everybody is a productive member of our community. And then last but not least, I just want to say thank you to the superintendent as well as to the board for making the Leadership Seminole opportunity available. I know many of you have been able to go through that program. This year, my SCPS team member is Dr. Mullins. We had a fabulous 2 days. That is a program that is open throughout the community to build leadership and connections. We were there with small business owners, CEOs of big businesses, leaders of nonprofits. Day 1 was a lot of overview and sort of thoughts about what kind of leader you are. And then day 2 was out in the great outdoors. We did tremendous team challenges. I want to say a special thank you to Dr. Mullins for cheering me on. I knew I could zip line, but I wasn't sure I'd get up that climbing wall, but I did it. So anyway, it was a tremendous opportunity, and I look forward to building those relationships and sharing as we move ahead in the months, sharing the legacy project that the cohort of 34 will bring.
Thank you. Sorry. My zoo board, first of all, in case you aren't aware, this is the last Saturday that you can take a student or your child to the zoo free with one paid adult. So the last day is Saturday. But check out the zoo website because we have so many activities coming up, different events throughout this month, through next month, that you need to check it out so you can see. We took a trip about 3 weeks ago to Yulee, Florida, which is basically about 3 hours away. Took 6 miles just to get into the property from the front gate, yes. And it was like a safari. It was absolutely amazing. We went to White Oak Conservation. It's not open to the public. And we had an opportunity to see and all the different animals that we take on loan to the zoo, which was really cool. And to see how they take care of these animals and what we need to do with them. You would have loved it, Sarita. You would have loved it. And they were locked up, so they wouldn't have touched you. But I had a chance to feed the giraffes and all that different stuff. And it was a fun day. But it's amazing that the man that owns the Dodgers dedicates 18,000 acres in Florida to our wildlife, on top of over 20,000 acres in Africa. And yes, I just went blank on his name, but unbelievable. Everything, all the vets, all the staff are all dedicated just to the animals, and it's not open to the public anymore. So it was really a nice treat for us to go as a board to see how it's run and to see what we can do to help so many endangered animals and animals that have been injured, and see what they can do when they go back out into the world. Also, mayors and managers, Dr. Mullins and I went to that as it was like basically the first week of school, so Superintendent Beeman was running around everywhere. Of course, I mean, she hasn't, I don't think, slept. But I also wanted to say that this is a non-board but that I serve on. Besides the Seminole Cultural Arts Council Board, we're getting ready for our meeting coming up next week, and also the Ritz Cedar Board and the Education Board in Sanford. We will be having The Secret Life of Pets is scheduled for September 13th. I will send out more information for that. We're going to be having a canned food drive. We will have 4th grade classes that are coming in between the week of August 26th through September 9th. Midway, Hamilton, Goldsboro, Lake Mary, and Winter Springs Elementary have already started lining up their field trips for that, supposedly. Yes. And then ELF is going to be scheduled on December 6th. So I will give you more information about that later. And I wanted to give out a shout out to our dividends team, Miss Mills, and Katie Burris, and Laura, for the Community Connections Volunteers Partners Orientation. They are going from now, they've already started, until October, visiting the different schools and passing out dividend forms and talking about volunteering and helping out in the schools. Remember, every year you must fill out the dividend form on a yearly basis to become a dividend, so you can help out in your student's classroom, or if you want to help out and teach in, or if you just want to help out reading with a student, whatever it may be. Yes, it's online, and once you've done it once, all you have to do is refresh it and do it yearly. Because if you do want to go on a field trip with your student or your child, you do need to have that filled out. So make sure that you do that. And then I wanted to mention one more thing. Oh, I had an opportunity to celebrate at the Hindu temple with the over 100 students that go to our schools for their native language, the Timu language. It was fabulous. And it was an honor to be there. But more importantly, what I got out of it was the fact that it's extremely important for all of us, because I always say this, if you don't talk about the past, it's going to repeat itself. And for these kids to be immersed in their culture, customs, is so critical for everybody. And to learn from your families, to learn and listen to your ancestors, your grandparents and families, engage in those conversations, more so importantly for everyone, because we need to learn from each other to make our world united and to be a better place, to accept each other. And so it's critical. So please, everyone, take time and do that, because it was a beautiful graduation ceremony, and like a majority of the kids do go to our schools. Also wanted to say a shout out to a lot of the schools that did orientations. Thank you for taking extra time to do that. The SEA luncheon, thank you for everything you do with that. That was our education union. They did a great job with that. And just visiting schools, and I just appreciate everybody and everything you're doing. Also, I know this is a question that I just want to clarify, and we talked about it earlier. There's a lot of confusion because people see other counties getting free breakfast and free meals. Do you mind just sharing why our county does not qualify for that?
Well,
thank you.
There's a difference between the number of students that are directly certified versus the number of free and reduced lunch students in our district. And so when some folks are talking about the district-wide programs, they may be looking at the number that is different. For us, it's 51.3% that are free and reduced lunch, but our directly certified students, much lower.
That's right. Thank you.
That's
perfect. Thank you. I think that's exactly what. So that way everybody can understand why other counties get it and, the state. Right. Yeah. Yes, you can say that. Everybody knows how I feel. Thank you. And Superintendent, I didn't have an opportunity to, before we go into the public comments, for your report.
Okay, well, my report is in the book, and is book only, except I do want to thank our principals, all of the administrators, teachers, and staff for a really smooth opening to this school year. And we celebrated on the first day of school with Lyman because of 100 years this year for them, but there's a number of schools that are having milestone celebrations this year. So I'm going to read off because I might have not mentioned some during my first day, but I want all of our schools that are celebrating milestones to know just how excited we are that they are celebrating all of the years of excellence. We'll start with Lyman at 100, Geneva Elementary, 100 years. We have Lake Howell, 50 years. Sable Point Elementary, 50 years. And 3 that are celebrating 20 years this year. Lair Elementary, Walker Elementary, and as we've talked about, Haggerty High School. So lots of great milestones in Seminole County this year.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you're doing. I don't think people realize everything that this lady does behind the scenes. I don't mean to, that sounds, our superintendent does behind the scenes. She's remarkable. And I can pick up the phone at 10 o'clock at night and she's still in the car. So you all have no idea, or I'm talking to her at 10:30 and she's parked in the garage, with the car off, of course. But honestly, I'm sorry, but she just sits there and takes any conversation and will just sit there and talk and fill you in on what's going on throughout the day. And that is critical to have a great, strong leader. And of course, the car's turned off. Well, I don't want you. What are you breathing? Stop. All right. So we have our 2 non-agenda items, and the last 2 will be, I don't know what order they came in, but I'll have Nina Sandberg and then Raquel Molina.
You added the car off.
If you need to character assassinate a school resource officer, a mother of babies, or a bunch of parents of special needs children in order to win a school board election, you are a disgusting human being. Shame on the League of Women Voters for violating its own code of ethics to participate in the game of trying to character assassinate parents and school board candidates based on political party affiliation as a nasty campaign strategy. For over 3 years now, local Democrats and SCPS swamp creatures have been performing libel and slander and defamation against Republican parents, school board members, and school board candidates in order to score cheap political brownie points with a fake woke Democrat mob. Their favorite targets are the parents in the local Moms for Liberty chapter, who are mostly parents of special needs children. These parents worked very hard to get SCPS's broken exceptional education department fixed. The exceptional education department was 100% corrupt, dysfunctional, and full of malfeasance. It needed to
Point
be
of order,
rehabilitated.
excuse me.
The old management did not care about the special needs children.
Attorney,
Retaliating
point of order.
against parents and children was a standard method
Are you
of
directing
handling
your-
problems.
Yes, please.
No one
Are-
cared about
Ms. Sandberg?
Are you directing your comment to the chair,
Thank you.
Vice Chair Krause?
Yes. Go ahead.
Why are you interrupting me? That's so rude.
No,
It's so rude.
Please go ahead.
Really rude. The old management did not care about the
Mr. Krause,
special
did
needs
you have
children.
something you wanted to
Retaliation
say?
against parents and
Please
children.
reset the
I'm
time
sorry.
for Ms.
Standard.
Sandberg.
I don't understand the rudeness.
Wait, I'm just going to, excuse
What
me.
is
We
the
just
problem?
asked
It's not,
that
has
you,
nothing
that you
to
not
do-
attack our staff in the
It's
ESE
old
department.
management. They're not here anymore. The old management did not care about the special needs children. Retaliation against parents and children was a standard method of handling problems. No one cared about my own child's IEP and 504 plan. The old management handled every problem with retaliation. I didn't even get all of my time because of being interrupted. That's not fair. I have to thank Moms for
Sandberg,
Liberty
you're
Seminole
not
for
being
taking
stopped.
action to get
You are
SCPS's
at a
exceptional
time.
education department straightened out. You don't libel and slander the parents of special needs students to score cheap political partisan points. There is constant tribalistic political partisanship that is inappropriate in SCPS. It needs
Raquel Molina?
Thank you, Nina. Ready? I'm ready. Good evening. No parent, teacher, or concerned community member should ever feel threatened or face retaliation for voicing their concerns to the school board and/or administrators in SCPS. Unfortunately, I feel some of the board members do not seem to be representing their voters, but are only representing corporate interests and their agenda. That's why I don't trust words anymore, because some people have sugar on their lips, but venom in their hearts. Oh my, I saw that. When SCPS retaliates, discriminates, and allows denial of faith, SCPS will no longer be trusted by our children. I know firsthand how the district will retaliate against good people for speaking up against injustice. Sadly, money, politics, and abuse of power is what runs schools now. And it has nothing to do with education anymore. What a shame, SCPS. You guys can do better. Retaliation, denial of faith, physical and mental abuse, bullying, etc., should never be tolerated by anyone, much less in the school system. No one, absolutely no one, has a right to put hands on a student, much less to a special needs child. Do better in SCPS and keep all students' education a top priority in a safe environment, something you guys didn't do to my child and many others. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Also, is there anything else anybody else would like to add before the closing of the meeting? I do want to take a moment to thank those teachers and administrators, as well as our staff, for following student conduct and code manuals. For anybody that is violating dress code violations, cell phone usage, any vaping or anything like that, I have been seeing reports coming through via emails from Minga and stuff like that. So I appreciate you taking it serious and being consistent with it. We have noticed that and we appreciate it. If there isn't anything else for the good of order, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.